things that I have prayed and just would give anything to see in 5 years, I've seen it now in 4 weeks. By day 2 of life, Luke started to go into a coma. The first 6 months of Luke's life were very traumatic, to say the least. He was in the hospital every week. We would get out for a couple days and be back. His pneumonia was just never really managed. For 6 months, he stayed at a brain damaging level. Every time I would see a doctor, they just pick one diagnosis to fixate on. So Luke has been given a diagnosis of CPS1, he's had a liver transplant, metabolic stroke, cerebral palsy from the stroke, and we also got an autism diagnosis. There were many nights that I would stay up crying, thinking, what can I do for him? Because I feel like everything I'm doing here is not working. Dr. Crawford takes us back, and he was looking over Luke, talking to him. He didn't treat Luke like any of his diagnosis, not one of them. He was looking at Luke to treat Luke what works best for him. This is a place of miracles. So before, I could never get Luke to dress himself. And the other morning I had his clothes laid out for him, and I was in the bathroom getting ready, and I walked back into the bedroom and he had already gotten himself dressed. He was completely nonverbal from the stroke, so never said a word, but he has started to talk. I was like, you get to go to clinic today and see all your friends. And I was like, are you ready to go now? And he said, yeah. And now he's trying, every night he's trying to sound out words. He actually sits at night and in bed and wants me to read to him. He's never done that before. He was not ever using utensils. And I've made videos of him since being here of eating his first cup of ice cream, literally from Chick-fil-A, because he can do it now. I just have so much hope for Luke's future, and just seeing the things that he's done in 4 weeks. I can't imagine what it's going to look like for him when we get home and we're doing home care. Who knows, maybe a year from now I will be sending y'all T-ball pictures and whatever he wants to do.
You're doing awesome, dude.
This place is restoring health, restoring hope to families, and truly changing lives, not only of the patients, but of the families as well.
Beautiful, right? It's got a nice groove to it. So I'll get into more of this, of course, but I just wanted to let you know what you are listening to. All right, so I'm going to get started. If at any point in time you have to leave, I have a daughter with disabilities too. I get it. Go do whatever you have to do. Take care of what you need to, and then always feel welcome to come back too. And please stop and ask me any questions if you have any also. So my name is Nicole. I'm here with my husband, Ryan, and we are from New York. We flew here yesterday, and this is my 3rd year at the conference. So I'm super excited to be here. The first year I came just as Addie's mom, and again, I'll get into all that in a second. Last year I offered a sound bath to caregivers and any kiddos who wanted to join too. And then this year I'm presenting on sound healing, so I can teach you more of the inside scoop of using sound healing with your child and for yourself. And then at 4:45, I am offering a sound bath in this room as well. So if you want to come back and just zen out, you're more than welcome to come back or stay. So I'm going to get started. So I entitled my presentation, Good Vibrations, just a little nod to the Beach Boys, but also there is so much power in healing vibrations and frequencies and music that we don't always see, but we can feel, and that are really, truly so helpful to our bodies and our brains. And I entitled it Sound Healing for Your Child and You, because so much of the therapy our kids do is for them. And we're often just facilitating whatever the therapist wants. And of course, it's all with the intention of helping our child. That's why we're all here. But this is something that you can also benefit from. And that's kind of rare with some of these other therapies. You can't always get that. But this is something you can enjoy together, and it benefits both of you. So just a little bit of background about me. I'm a certified sound healer. I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm a voice teacher, a choir teacher, and a medical mom. So I have 3 beautiful children. I'm Ryan's wife. I've got some siblings, a family back at home. So I wear many different hats, like a lot of you guys also do too. But this is the one I'm most passionate about as far as like helping other people goes outside of my family. So it is my 20th year teaching. I can't even believe I'm saying that. I teach at a high school on Long Island, primarily high school choir and voice lessons. But I wrote a class 3 years ago after my daughter's brain injury called Mindfulness in Music. And it's really taken off, and gen ed kids are taking to it. My life skills students take it with peer mentors, and I've just seen the benefit for everyone again. So, but yeah, this is my 20th year teaching, and now I get to teach you guys, so I'm excited. But yeah, after Addison's brain injury, it just became so apparent to me that music was really healing also. Aside from being enjoyable, it is very healing. So that's kind of how I got into this. And then of course, I love tying together music with mindfulness, breathing, meditation. It really does all go hand in hand. So these are just some pictures of my family. So obviously you see Ryan. This is my oldest, Colin. He's 11. That's Addison. We call her Addie. As you can see, Addie has a trach and a vent. That's why she's not here, unfortunately. Flying with her is not ideal. So, but she's here in spirit. But yeah, she's got a G-tube. She has HIE. She has a brain injury from negligence at birth. So it was unexpected, full-term baby. But she's here, she's 4.5 and she's rocking it. And that's her other brother, Liam. That's our middle child, and he is 8 years old, and they are definitely super siblings. I'm sure many of your kids have super siblings too, and we're all in it together. So this is our family. So yeah, just a little bit more about Addie's journey. This was her the day that she was born, on the cooling mat, all the wires, all the tubes. I'm sure a lot of you recognize this. Very unexpected. Like I said, I had a relatively normal, typical pregnancy, 2 other healthy children, no issues. And Addie was born and it was very different. So she had a very grim prognosis, was not expected to even make it to how old she is now. And I share this with you to show you how far we've come and how we've used some of the things we've learned here and the sound healing to help get her where she is. So this is the picture in the center of her right after she was trached. That particular hospital offered music therapy. And again, I'm a music teacher, I'm not a music therapist, but I'm watching this and I'm like, wow, this makes me feel so much better. Anytime the music therapist, I would like beg for her, I'd like look for her in the hallway, like, is the music therapist here today? Can she come visit Addie? And I would just love it so much. And I would see her numbers change on the screen and on the monitor every time the music therapist came. And I was like, there's something to be said about that. There's definitely something more than what we're all seeing, but it's happening, and I really recognize that. And then you'll see on the other side, this is more where Addie is now. So that's where our music therapy journey started. But this is her maybe when she was like 1.5 years. She gets all of her therapies in our home. She does not go to school. That's another conversation for another day, but her school is in our house, and that's the best place for her. So we constantly have music playing in her room. She gets everything there. This is actually, last year we were starting to be able to take her to the library once a week for her education. She has that teacher twice a week, and we could go to the library once a week with her. That was like, we could get her out to do that, and she's tolerating it pretty well. And now she goes to a PT intensive gym with all the bungees and all the cool things. She goes there once a week now. She was a kid who couldn't even leave the house. She was a kid they never thought would leave the hospital. So she's doing it like your kids are too, and she's making it happen. And it's not linear, it's definitely this, but she's doing it. And music is a big part of why. So again, these are just some clips of her getting music therapy at home. So it started out with just some toys. It really did start out with toys. Do any of you have this drum at home? Anybody recognize this? Yeah. And does your kid love it? I don't know why. It's like a $14 little instrument, but they love it. There's something about it. And it's easy for them to be successful on it. It doesn't feel like therapy, right? But it's helping them, and it's making them feel capable of doing something. It's rewarding. It lights up. It makes a sound. They're instantly gratified. And that's not so easy for so many other things that they're using, but for this it is. So that's really how it started once Addie came home. I was like I was researching everyone who can come to my house and give music therapy, you know? So we didn't have anyone at first. And I ran into a mom online at the supermarket. And she somehow started saying something about her daughter having special, I have to run, my daughter has music therapy. And of course I'm like, wait, hold on. Can you tell me more? I have a daughter with disability. And it was in the supermarket online at the checkout counter that I got our music therapist number. So we are making connections all the time, right? So this is Alicia, she's our music therapist, and she's been coming to the house. And it started out like this with just like Addie on my lap, and it was just so enjoyable. And again, it wasn't always easy. There were definitely sessions where for 20 minutes it was like, hold on, she needs a break, or hold on, she has to get her diaper changed. And you know, it wasn't, again, it's not linear, right? But it was something. And we started small. We started with 30 minutes, and now she can go up to an hour and fully participate with everything, with assistance, of course, but she can participate, and she loves it. So I love this one because that's Liam when he was younger also, but he loves when the music therapist comes because it's something they can do together, right? Like a lot of times they're separated, and that feels unnatural for a lot of us to separate our kids from activities. And this is something that's so inclusive for the siblings. So everyone loves when Miss Alicia comes, they grab an instrument and she's the best. She's like, here, have a mallet, have a drum, let's play. And now Addie's big enough, she's in her Riften seat and she gets it on her own. And again, she's more participatory as she's gotten older and doesn't need to sit on my lap anymore, you know, so she's progressing nicely, and we feel like it is really beneficial. I'm just curious, how many of you have, your child has received music therapy before in some way? Just a few, okay. Have any of you sought out music therapy and had trouble finding it in your area? Yeah, okay. So my goal is to share with you some things you can do on your own, even if you don't have a music therapist on hand or a sound therapist on hand. So just a little bit more about Addie, because again, I want you to truly understand. It's hard when you don't meet our kids to truly understand them, but this is a scan of Addie's brain from a QEEG. I'm sure many of you here are familiar with the Neurosolutions Center. Through being here a couple years ago, we learned more about it. And we went down to Atlanta, Georgia, because I can drive there. I can't fly with Addie, but I can drive from New York to Georgia. So we took her there and got her first brain scan with Dr. Cedarmark. He's the best. He's our guy. We love him. He works with Dr. Crawford and Dr. Daigle. But we've seen so much progress. This is 2 years later, Addie's scan. And basically what you can tell is the colors have changed, right? So there's more activity. The darker blues and teals is low functioning, low activity, not a lot of stimulation going on, not a lot of energy there. And 2 years later, that's her up-to-date brain scan, and there's a lot of activity. He said her brain is more balanced now, and we're able to get more of a glimpse. So neuroplasticity is real, and this can all be a part of that. So again, this is just some photos of what I've done already with sound healing as a teacher in my school. This is a class I teach. This is my friend Ishal. She has a speaking device like some of your kids and my kid have, and she uses it to communicate with her peer mentors in class, learning about the singing bowls. I have a set for my classroom and I teach them about it. They get to learn how to play them. I take them to elementary schools, my high school students, and they work with the little ones on it. And every age, I find, every ability and every age, they're all taking to it. There's something about it that's just welcoming and not as intimidating for some of these kids. I think also when a kid or a sibling, right, like does it with your disabled child, they get it together and it feels less intimidating, or like a teacher is having them do something, or a therapist is having them do it. So again, it's really important, I think, to think of it from like a full family perspective, that neighbors can do it, friends can do it, cousins can do it, siblings can do it with them, and it feels less intimidating and it's more fun. All right, so now we're gonna dive deeper. I'm going to play some samples of sound healing songs, and I want you to, this is the teacher in me, I have an activity for you. I want you to come up with 2 or 3 words that describe what you're hearing. And I imagine it will be different for all of you. I kind of hope it is. And you don't have to share it, but I just want you to listen. You're more than welcome to close your eyes if you want to. I'm sorry if there's ads on YouTube before the clip plays. I'll try to mute those. It's always fun, right? All right. Here's song 1, if it plays. Let's see. Oh, it says it's playing. Hold on. Where's Fiona when I need her? Oh no, it says it's on, but I don't hear anything. Shoot, that's not gonna work. Sorry, Fiona said there was sound, but I just don't hear anything. All right, that's okay. I'll pivot. Hold on 1 second. I'll play it from my phone. I have Canva on my phone too. And I have the speaker, so we are set up. Okay, thank you. Sorry for 1 second. Let me just fix this. Okay, if anyone sees Fiona, you tell her to stop by. Okay, here we go. What's that? The chord? Yeah, it's unmuted, full volume. It's okay. All right, I got it. Ready? Okay, 3 words, 2 to 3 words if you can. Please work. Hold on. We got this. Okay. Can everyone hear this? Yes. Okay, I'm going to pause it. Okay. So think of your 2 or 3 words. They might not be fancy. They might be simple. That might be your word. Does anyone want to share their word or words?
Calming and energetic at the same time.
Ooh, calming and energetic. Raise your hand if you had any one of those words. Nice. Okay. Did you want to add to that?
Add encouraging.
Ooh, encouraging. Can you add to that? What made you feel that way?
I don't know, to get up and actually do something. Not in a full throttle kind of way, but just motivating, I guess. I don't know.
Great. Yes. Any other words?
I put floating.
Hmm.
Maybe feel like lifting up off the ground.
Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely. All right, we're going to do this again with song number 2. Here we go. Pause it. Okay. Think of your words. They might be similar, they might be different. Does anyone want to share their word for song number 2? Upbeat. Great.
The word that came to mind was tapping.
Yeah, yeah.
Move your head.
It was rhythmic, right? Rhythmic, yeah. Did anyone else have something like that? Rhythmic, a beat, upbeat, anything like that?
It felt like trees swaying,
You have a good imagination.
wind blowing through the trees like you're swaying.
Great. Love this. Anyone else? Was it different for you than the first song? Okay. All right. Song number 3. You ready? I'm going to fade out and stop. Okay, song number 3. It was what? Mysterious, suspenseful. Love this.
I thought about
You didn't like it. That's good to know too. This is really important. No, that's great. I want all the answers. There is no wrong answer to this question. Tell me more. It felt.
Feel drama.
Sinister.
Oh,
yeah, a little darker, maybe like rain, weather, kind of.
okay, like a stormy.
I must be dark because I was like so relaxed. Like,
Ah.
I'm asleep right now.
Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. Thank you. This is perfect. We're going to talk more at the end. I have one more song and then I'll explain why. Okay, good. Any other words we did not cover? Any other?
Vision of fire burning.
Ooh, is it a bad fire or a good fire?
Like if you think of like lighting like a fireplace and just kind of watching it, or a fire outside and just kind of watching it, like I could just see it burning.
Good, great.
That's interesting. Fire was mentioned, but I cold. Maybe because of the weather, the rain. Yeah.
See how they're all different though, right? See how they're all different? Okay, one more. Song number 4, last one. You recognize it. Feel free to sing at any time. Okay. Give me your words. Lullaby. Love it.
I thought of like fairies dancing.
Ooh.
And also stars in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Dancing fairies, stars in the sky. So maybe like a magical scene a little bit. Okay, good. This is
Together,
great.
like two separate
Separate
pictures,
things,
different
yeah.
ones.
I get it. Okay, any other words?
Kids having fun.
Yeah, kids having fun. I love this. This is so good.
It's a depressing song in a way.
So is that how it made you feel though, when you listened? What did you feel? Get out of here. What did you feel in your body though? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I guess I was thinking too much about the actual song.
Right. Sometimes that happens too though, right? So that, again, it's not a wrong answer, but it pushes us to think, this is a familiar song and I know the words. There were no words on that recording, but it was performed in such a different way on a sound healing instrument. Right? Like there's a lot to that. Okay, good. We're going to dive deeper. Any other words on song number 4? I have delicate in my mind, like it was delicate. And it was one instrument as opposed to many, right? And that's the sound of silence, Simon and Garfunkel, if you weren't sure. So the reason I picked all of these songs is because they are so different, yet they do feature sound healing instruments. And this is just a display of some of them. The last one was this one here, a tongue drum. So this was what it was played on. There are many sizes and styles of tongue drums, but this is one, and it has an opening on the bottom where the sound comes out of, and you use mallets to play it, like these soft, small mallets. So it is delicate. I find this instrument delicate yet powerful at the same time. It can be sometimes both feelings. It could be a lot of things. It could be none of those things. You mentioned you liked the sound bath, which was song number 3, and you really felt calm. I enjoy that too, but some people really didn't feel comfortable with that. And they were like, oh, that's like tense or stressful or, so every individual is different, right? So you will only know what works for you and your child. And that might also be different. You might like different sounds that they like. I have some students that love the singing bowls and some that really don't. And they love the ocean drum instead, which is this one. And they might like big waves, and they might like little waves, right? So it's so individual to you and your child's needs, but that's why it's good to listen to all of it and get to know what you like and what you don't like. It's like food. I always say that. It's like food. Not everybody eats the same things. Not everyone likes the same flavors. It is unique to you. So that's, before I dive into any suggestions, I always want you to remember it has to be individualized for you and your child. Only you know what sounds they're going to be comfortable with and what sounds are not going to work for them or you. And that's important to just recognize that all of them made us feel a little bit different, right? Do you have any questions so far? Okay. Oh, it's making me, I see. Okay. So again, this is a display of some of the instruments that I do have on this table. These are called Zephyr or Kashi chimes. These are a little bit more of the, oh, I wish she was here, the magical sound, that mystical sound we were talking about. It's somewhat of like a reverse chime. Oh, sorry. I flew here with these, so they got a little tangled in some spots. Should have seen us going through the airport with these things. That was exciting. It was very interesting. Okay, hold on. We're having technical difficulties here. Yeah, this one got a little tangled. All right, I'll come back to this one. I'm going to do it in the sound bath, but you get an idea. Yeah, it's a little stuck. I'll fix it later. But anyway, these are chimes. They are a little bit more magical sounding, delicately, you know, just making different sounds and chords. And they're all different colors based on the pitches that they play. So if you know anything about like different keys or modalities, like major versus minor, right? That might be something familiar from music, like Halloween songs or spooky songs or sad songs can often be in minor keys, where happy songs or uplifting songs might be in major keys. These cover those keys, but then there are also variations of that, like Eastern music keys and things like that. So again, you won't know until you try them which ones you like, but they're all great for different reasons. The sound bath was obviously featuring these crystal singing bowls, but it could have been the combination of pitches that was tense, where they were not harmonious and maybe they were not sounds that worked well together for you, but they might help you work through trauma, if that's what part of sound healing is too. Having that dissonant part of music helping you get through it's almost like when you're exercising, until you break that sweat and you're really struggling, maybe you don't have the breakthrough yet, right? So I just feel like it's important to also recognize that some of it might make you uncomfortable, like that song that makes you cry, and then some days you're like, I'm just not crying today. And then other days you're like, I need a good cry, I'm gonna go to that song, right? So sometimes it's also okay to work through the discomfort to get to the other side of it. But you heard the singing bowls and then rain sticks. This was the sound that you heard. It was just a much larger rain stick that made a heavier sound, more intense. And again, it depends on how you play it too. You could shake it, or you can do a trickle. You know, more like a stream. Larger rain sticks I enjoy more so because I feel like they take longer to go from side to side and there's less pause in between. Like I could take a lot longer and there's less silence. And that just works for me. But someone, like a kid-friendly size, definitely might be this one, right? It's easy to take anywhere, pop it in their backpack. They need something to play. It's not going to hurt them in any way. They don't need any technique whatsoever. You could even place it in their hand and do it with them, right? Easy. And it's satisfying. It's textured. I'll pass this one around, actually, so you guys can play with it if you want to while I'm talking. These are more sort of like shell shakers. You actually play them more like upside down, and it can sound like running water because they're hollowed and dried out, but they have a calming effect. If you closed your eyes, you might not know what I was playing, right? So it's just, or you can shake it for a much louder sound. It just depends on you and what you like. Kids love these. These are the little frogs. They make them now with all different animals. Like this one's a frog, and it does sound like a frog. The croaking. And again, I brought the biggest one because I feel like for kids it is a little bit easier to make a sound more successfully with a larger instrument. But yeah, kids love this one, but they make them with like pigs and alligators on Amazon. You can get them. They're not that expensive either. This is the little one. It would just be higher pitched because it's smaller, but it is a little bit more tricky to play. You need more fine motor skills to play this one. But again, kids love it, and it's hard to break it. They could throw it across the room. Nothing's going to happen to this one, you know. So that one's really good. These are nice and easy too. They're called tone bars, and they have 2 pitches to them. So again, you might like the combination, you might not. That's up to you. I'm playing a C and a G. Can't mess it up, right? Hard to break, made of metal. And this is a nice soft silicone mallet, so it's not a loud abrasive sound. That might be better for some kids who don't like those loud sounds. And I'm gonna get to these all later. The singing bowls, you can.
So Addie, when she plays the instruments, because she does touch them, they're tactile, she feels the vibration in her hand, and you can also see her react to the vibration.
No, that's thank you. That's so important to add. Again, sound healing works on like a cellular level where even if you're just in the presence of it, it's doing things inside at particular frequencies that we're going to talk about in a minute that your body can feel it at the cellular level. You just might not notice it in that way, but it is happening. It's happening automatically. And again, Addie is non-speaking, so we go by what she does with her movement, and she will instantly move when she hears certain sounds or is in music therapy because she does feel it so quickly, and that's that sensory input we want for our kids. So yeah, it's great. The ocean drum is actually her favorite. Ryan, I'm going to use you as my guinea pig here. So here, sit right here. Okay. So for Addie, she loves music and she loves all the sounds, but sometimes I think for our kids too, it's a lot. Like it could be overwhelming and overstimulating. This is like the best version of white noise you can buy. So if you just close your eyes, I'm going to go over his head. And now I'm going to go here, and I'm going to just play it for you. Can you describe to them the difference?
That, when it was over my head, sounded like I was in the ocean. Like,
yeah, it literally transports you. Like, anybody else want me to do it for them? I will. I'm going to do it in the sound bath too. But yeah, I'll go quick. But I want you to feel it when it's, because it's hard to describe until you feel it. Right? Like you could just feel, yeah, like you feel like you're in the ocean. You're in the wave. You can't hear anything else around you. It's incredible. Her face just went like this. Like if you couldn't see it, that was the best. It's still like that. Anybody else? Yeah, let's do it. All right, Crystal, I got you. Oh, wow. Right? It's different.
It's really cool.
You guys, oh yeah. Do you want to try? Yes, of course. Is this okay over her head here? Okay. Yeah. What's her name?
Willow.
Willow. Did you like that? Is that a yes? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, so this might be something worth investing in, you know. The ocean drums come in many sizes. Of course, they come in many sizes. I find this one just the easiest because it's most portable. I think it's the 10 or 12 inch one, but this is a great like starter size. Yeah, it's different when you experience it. I'll leave these here too later if anybody wants to try again. But the smaller ones can be more high-pitched and they're not as like all-encompassing. This one has like the perfect tone. Oh yeah, let's do it. What's your name?
Bud.
Okay, here we go, Bud. Nice smile. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for coming up. Yeah. So, you know, if that's what your kid's thing is, it's worth the investment. You know, it's anything, you could take it with you anywhere. What makes the unique sound, in case you're wondering, this is like a plastic on the front that makes it sort of tinny sounding. And when these little metal beads interact with this side, it does sound a little different actually. This is a little bit brighter. It's darker, but it's tinny. But you have options. I like the warmer sound, which I think is on the bottom here. It's more fabric, so it's absorbent. So it soaks in those vibrations, like the higher frequencies, a little bit better, which I prefer. That's just me, though. So yeah, that's the ocean drum. But you heard a bunch of these instruments on those recordings, and you know, there's just so many to choose from. So basically how it works is if you were to curate a sound bath or sound healing session for your child, you'll find the areas of need. So say it's neurological, focus your energy on this part of the body, or say it's digestive, you focus on this part of the body, and I'll tell you which instruments can coincide with those things. So there's many different areas of the body you can focus on. You find that energy center, and then you align it with the chakra. I don't want to scare you, but the word chakra sounds scary. It's not, I promise. All it is really just the energy that's around that section of your body, the energy you're giving off. Say this is the root chakra, this is the heart chakra. It's just the energy in this area, okay? And then basically what you'll do is find the instruments that coincide with the frequencies in those chakras. So this is where we're going to get a little sciencey on you, but it's worth it to understand this. And I will share this so you'll have it all if you want to just kind of soak it in right now. So these are the pictures of the different chakras. It starts at the root, and this would be like your hips area. So if you want to participate, have fun with me. This is your root chakra. Put your hands on your hips. And I'm going to go on this side, actually, so I can get out of the way of your pictures if you wanted to. All right, and then if you move your hands just a little bit more under your belly button, this is the sacral chakra. This is like your reproductive organs. So before it was more like your hips, your bottom, that sort of region. And that makes sense. The root of a tree is at the bottom, right? So think of it like that. Then you've got the sacral chakra here under the belly button. Solar plexus is above that. I know a lot of us have trauma that we hold in our stomach. When we get nervous, we get upset, we feel it here. That would be, especially digestion issues with our kids, that can always be a thing. Focus on the sacral chakra. Then you've got your heart chakra. A lot of us hold trauma here too, or we also hold love here. So we want to open that up for sure. So this is your heart chakra. Then that also includes the lungs, by the way, that same region. You got your throat chakra right here. There's a lot that comes from here as far as expressing yourself or not expressing yourself, feeling silenced. Maybe you're in that doctor's appointment with the doctor's like, your kid's never going to do X, Y, and Z. And you're like, ugh, and you feel it here, right? That's the throat chakra. So if you want to open that up and start working through that, that's what you would focus on. Your third eye is here. This is trusting your intuition and seeing the greater picture of things and sort of taking that all in. And then this one at the top is the crown chakra, of course, and this is just being fulfilled on a spiritual, more higher power level, sort of, and taking that in from there. So all of these obviously are important, right? But if one is out of alignment, then they start to crumble, right? So it's so important that we align them. Blocked chakras can present as pain, headaches, confusion, and discomfort. But balanced chakras can present as mental clarity, vigor, endurance, and happiness. And it sounds really simple, but it's not. We all know it's so hard to achieve balance in all areas of our lives, but especially within our own bodies as caretakers or our kids' bodies with a lot of medical trauma. So in the simplest form, this is an example of how the chakras align with the singing bowls particularly, okay? And the pitches. So the C note, let's start with the red, and you can see it's rainbow colored, right? So you've got red is C, because again, I flew, I couldn't bring the whole set, but I have my red one here, which is C. This is the root chakra. So can you just imagine, if you want to close your eyes, I encourage you to do so, but try to just focus your energy on your root chakra, which is your base of your body. If you were sitting like this, it would be where your body touches the ground, on your bottom or your hips. And see if you feel any sort of sensation there. You can keep your eyes closed. I'm going to go to the next chakra. We're going to skip the sacral because I don't have that singing bowl, but we're going to go to the solar plexus, which is above your belly button in your stomach area. I'll let the C sort of fade out as I add the E in here, which is the yellow one, the solar plexus. Again, just the area above your belly button in your stomach. We'll have to skip the heart today. I don't have my green singing bowl, but we'll go to the blue, which is the throat. And this is your top chakra here. You should feel this on your crown at the top of your head, above your eyes. Whenever you're ready, you can open up your eyes. So you could hear the different pitches, right? The larger singing bowls make lower sounds, the smaller ones make higher sounds, and they're often sold singing bowls. These are crystal singing bowls. I find the resonance on them is just it lasts longer, it's easier to play. The metal ones are more expensive. This is a very small one, but this one right here can go for over $100. And it's very small. The biggest ones have the greatest effect on your whole body, but they're really expensive and they're very heavy. So you can always get them. They do work very well, but I find these to just be more accessible. And I love the colors. For when I teach my students, a lot of them learn by sight, right? So if they can associate a color with a chakra and a pitch, then that's the win, right? They've figured it out. So did any of you feel the effects in those regions of your body? Did you? If you didn't, maybe that's okay too. It just might take time or more time on these. Or it might mean that area is balanced. That chakra was intact, right? Did you feel maybe, like I know for me, my throat chakra can be a challenging one with Addie and speaking up sometimes for things that she needs. And I struggle with that. So immediately when I played the blue, I was like, darn it, I thought I worked through that. I guess not. But I felt that one immediately. And with the purple, I did feel it right here on my forehead. But did any of you want to share what you felt or didn't feel?
I have rheumatoid arthritis, my hip bothers me a lot.
Ah.
And you did that chakra particularly, and that's where I really felt it.
Yeah. So if you did this, say you didn't have the singing bowl, but you have an Alexa at your house. Hey, Alexa, play the root chakra music. She'll know. Yeah. It's out there. It's everywhere. That really will help. That really would help. Also, it's a C note. So if you know your pitches, it's a C. You can find, and you could even just buy the one singing bowl. Say if that's your thing, purchase a C crystal singing bowl. It will be worth it. It would be. Even if you did it 5 minutes before you went to bed, it's worth it. It takes a little bit of practice, but it does line up. And a fun little fact, I'm sure those of you who also go to NeuroSolutions or know Dr. Crawford and the team, they talk a lot about the vagus nerve and stimulating the vagus nerve. So singing is actually a natural way to stimulate your vagus nerve. So if you sing with your child or you sing the pitch, like if we did that, we would be automatically stimulating the vagus nerve. You feel it all in here. It vibrates through your whole body, and it's doing more than you even know. So you can listen to it and you can sing to it, and it's really, really great. Happens naturally. And I wanted to show you this to help you realize you probably learned this in elementary school. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Did anybody learn that in school? I hope you had a good music teacher who taught you the basics, yes? So, or The Sound of Music might have taught you, do, a, dear, right? You know that one. This is what coincides. This is where it comes from. So our notes in Western music go by this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So that's why you'll see there's 7 chakras, but they're 8 notes because do repeats. It goes, that will bring us back to do, oh, oh. Yeah, okay, Sound of Music friends, you got it. So oftentimes you'll see in sound healing, you're gonna work on specific pitches. A, B, C, D, E, F, G is the music alphabet, and it just loops. The C scale is what we use most commonly, so it goes from C to C, okay? These colors line up with those chakras again, but now we're gonna add in solfeggio frequencies. These are those numbers in hertz that you see on a lot of things, tuning forks, things like that. So they both work, but they're just different philosophies and different systems, but they both work for all the things. This is the best one, I would say, like take a picture of this one, or when I share the slideshow, you can save that one, because it shows you the frequency in hertz, the pitch, the color, and the chakra. It's all the things you'll want to remember and take into play. And you know, today your root chakra might be great. Next week, you might take a fall, it might not be so great. And you know that with our kids, every day is different. So it's just good to have this information in your back pocket, because then you can say, hey Siri, play the heart chakra today. And she will, she'll know. Oh, she's talking back to me. I should have said Alexa. I said Siri and she listened. You never listen. Wow. All right. That's funny. Okay, so if you wanted to get into alignment or start practicing and you don't have any of these things with you, right? Or you're traveling and you're in a hotel room by yourself, which never happens, and you're like, I got 20 minutes. What can I do with this? Here you go. This spends not even 20 minutes. It spends 2 minutes per chakra. So I know my sound's not working. I'll share this with you again. You'll have the link, but it goes through all the pitches. And it has the C singing bowl going on and on and on and on. And it will go through each chakra. And all you have to do, it's in blue here, grab a cozy blanket, number 1, lower the lights, put on your headphones if you have them, because that's a deeper form of listening and stimulation, and it tunes out all the other stuff. Close your eyes and just focus on your breath. Again, it sounds really simple, but we're not always so good at it because we don't always have time. But if you have the time, this is what you should do. And just press play, and it will talk you through, it will talk you through the sounds. And then when I hear, I'm going to bring my attention here. Back to do, right? So when I hear each pitch change, I'm going to just change my attention and bring my awareness to that part of my body. So that's just to balance all the chakras. We can all use it all the time. This is a picture of Addie at NeuroSolutions this summer in Atlanta when we went back for that second brain scan. And he's got all the things going on with all the frequencies. So if you want to amp it up, do it. Play the music in the background. Siri, no, don't, not Siri. Alexa, play 741 hertz. And then Dr. Cedarmark's going to go, all right, let's put the TENS unit on there, and let's put the eye lights at that frequency, and let's put her laser at that frequency, and then let's put her Peapod chair on the vibration board. And it's sensory input in every direction, and it's going to enhance the level of sensory input they get for those chakras. And it might be total body, and that's great too, but there are definitely ways you can enhance the sound healing by adding other things that operate on frequencies as well. Add your essential oils, diffuse them. I'll give you examples in a minute. Use a stim pod, use visual stimulus, a video. Like if you have CVI videos and you want to pop them in the background, do that. Let your kid watch that while they're listening, while they're smelling, and it awakens all the things, and it locks in together. They want to be in synchrony together. All right, so this is one of my favorite videos. You don't even need to hear it, but you can see it. It will play. So we seek balance, harmony, and alignment, and rhythm and patterns can influence behavior and biological function. So that's really the crux of sound healing, right? Your body wants to be in alignment with itself and all the other things happening. And this is just an example. These are all metronomes. They keep time, but they were started at different times. And you're going to see over time, they start moving together. It's pretty fascinating. So again, you don't even have to hear it, but you can watch it. So 5 pendulum metronomes synchronize with each other in a process called entrainment. So you see they're all out of whack, right? They've started at different times, different speeds. These are out of alignment chakras. But over time, you see they're starting to line up a little bit. They're almost as good as the Rockettes, almost. See that? It's pretty wild, right? It just happens naturally because things want to go together. That's the nature of rhythms of life, right? Cycles, they go in that way. They want to go together. So for time, I'm going to keep going, but this is just one example of that.
The metronomes can hear each other? Or react?
Yes, they can hear each other, yes. It's more the energy between them and the space between them. They want that space to be able to move freely. And this is the best example, right? The wave. Not everybody in that audience has been like, okay, I'm going to go raise my hands at this second and you go at that second. No, we want to be in connection. We want to be in sync. It's just a natural thing. So social, emotional, and behavioral contagion is like entrainment within your body, but also with the things around you, right? I put yawning up here because that's the easiest example, right? Everybody's like, yes, I know. When you're in a room with people yawning, you didn't even know you were tired and you start yawning because it's contagious. It happened. I said the word yawn and she yawned. It happens. But I bring this up to say, like, be the change, be the thing that catches on emotionally and socially that's positive in your child's world. There is so much around them. They hear all those things those doctors say too, right? So we have to negate that for them. We have to bring positive energy to them through things like this because they have so much of the other stuff too that they also carry. They just can't maybe say it the same way, but their body takes it in. The body knows, right? So if you can bring this around them, harmonious connections will occur naturally for them too. It will happen. All right, so these are examples specific for the brain, okay? So we're obviously at a pediatric brain injury conference. I wanted to share this with you. I did have sound clips that I know will not work. Actually, I can probably load them here. This is important. I want you to hear this. So there's delta, which is low and slow. You're sleeping, right? You want to listen to delta sound waves. Alexa, play delta sound waves. Your kid is having trouble falling asleep, put it on in the background. You might not even think they notice it, but if you keep doing it enough, it creates a new routine for them. I'm going to play this one for you. It's very deep and it's very low, but it is noticeable. Okay. If you click on each word, when I share this, that's where you'll be able to hear everything. Hold on. No, shoot, it's not going to work. I wish the sound was working. I'm so sorry. But you'll hear that. You see how the waves get closer and higher? When it's low and slow, it's a deep sound. And then this is all the way up to gamma. High level cognition, memory recall, peak awareness. I could tell you just in Addie's case, when she got her first brain scan, Dr. Cedermark was like, she's in this range. She's got a lot of this even when I'm stimulating her. We don't want her to think she's sleeping all day. We want her to be more alert. We want her to participate in therapy. There's a setting on her Avant laser that we purchased through him, alpha brainwaves. There's all the brainwave settings on that laser. So I'll play alpha brainwave music while I put the laser on her brain and set it to the alpha brainwaves. And again, you saw the brain scan, right? So it's working. It is waking up the brain. But notice he didn't go from this to gamma, right? He was like, no, you can't do, that'll overstimulate. You got to go gradually. So only you know where your kid kind of settles. But again, you can even just use this as helping them settle down for the day or helping them wake up, right? Knowing which waves work at which times of the day is really important. So this is an example of Addie's routine. I just mentioned in the morning, I might put on alpha brainwaves while I'm diffusing lemon and frankincense, right? Those are awakening oils. They're vibrant. They awaken the senses. And I might play acoustic songs or medium low frequencies, 8 to 13 hertz, very small, or a tongue drum and a C singing bowl, because I want to make sure I'm not startling her when she's waking up, but I might just want to awaken her from a gentle sleep into a gentle awakening. And then say I was putting her to bed and she was having trouble, she was agitated, I'd play delta brain waves and diffuse lavender or chamomile. And then I would play low frequencies on the music, whatever system you use, or binaural beats, which is 2 pitches that together make that frequency. But it's nice and slow. And I might use this one because I know this tunes out all those noises. This might put her to sleep. Or a rain stick, something super gentle. Take 5 minutes, make a routine of it. Try it over and over again. You might start to see a change. And obviously there are benefits for everyone, like I mentioned when I started. Balance and restore your body to its natural state with sound healing. You can heal wounds and trauma. You can calm your nervous system and reduce your stress level. Overall health and wellness, decreasing pain perception. That's a big one. It doesn't always decrease the pain, right? Your kid's admitted, they're having a procedure, or they're sick, they're not feeling well. But if you can play some sound healing music in the background for them, or have that music therapist come visit them, it decreases their pain perception. They're maybe not recognizing they're in pain anymore for that 10 minutes of time because they're thinking about other things, or their senses are taking them in a different direction and distracting them from the pain, right? So I just think that's really important to remember that too. It might not take away all the things, but even if for a moment it makes them feel happy or less painful, then that's huge for us. That's a win. Better sleep, of course, and these are my favorite. It's fun and easy. It is fun and easy. A lot of these instruments are not hard to play, and they don't break that easily, so it's perfect for a lot of our kids. It's motivating when you have music in the background. Think of you when you're working out. Don't you want to run with some music in the background or whatever, you're on the treadmill, right? But then say you want to relax, you might want to play some spa music. It creates connection with siblings, with friends, with classmates, and it is good for the whole family. And practice makes progress. So even for yourself, time is really hard. Sign up for a class. Go with a friend. Pay attention to what you're eating or what your kid's eating. It all lines up, right? So focus on your breathing. Maybe do some meditation. Maybe buy an instrument. Start small. Even if you do one of those things once a month, it's going to make a difference. It is going to make a difference for you too. And then last but not least, say this is not ideal for you. Purchasing any of these things is not ideal, or going to a class or finding time is not easy. These are things that are simple, okay? If you need a reset, start with breathing. Okay, I just left this awful appointment. I'm in my car and I'm like ready to burst out. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to do a finger breath. And after 5 of those, I might reset. I might just be like, okay, I'm going to start over, right? And then play my favorite song in the car. Listen to, this was really important. We talked about this earlier. Do you mind if I share what we spoke about?
You're fine.
Okay, so her child is, tell me your situation again. I want to misspeak.
24-hour nursing facility, or he's in a nursing facility for children that require 24-hour care.
Perfect. Yeah, I didn't want to misspeak. So she was saying, like, I'm not always there, and I have in-home nursing, so I understand. It's like, how do I do this when I'm not there? I'm not the one with them all the time. I suggested make a playlist. Make a playlist. All you have to ask the nurse to do is, can you press play on their iPad? Can you say, Alexa, play, I have it for Addie, play Addie's playlist. And it will play all the songs I want it to play. And you can set it at different times. Play Addie's morning playlist, play Addie's evening playlist. And all they have to do is just ask it to play or set play, and you can connect your devices through your phones or computers to those the speakers, and then it plays the playlist for you. We even have playlists from when Addie was in the NICU, because we couldn't do much, right? She was in the incubator for 3 months. So it was like, okay, here we go. We'd read books and we'd play some music and we'd sing and we'd go back to those songs, and and she hears them now all these years later, and she knows, like, she remembered. But you would have thought, looking at her, she was in a coma. You would have never known that she knew, but she knows. So again, it works on a cellular level. They really do know. And then just make fun with it, do some freeze dance at home. Start and stop the music and see if your kid reacts when it stops. They might ask you to play it again. They might say, can you play more? Even if they just vocalize a loud sound or move a hand, they're recognizing the start and stop. That's teaching the brain, right? And just use what you have. There's tons of free online resources. One of my favorites, I'll show you in a second. Well, these are all the fun, cool toy instruments you might have at home or want to invest in. They're not free. I'll show you the free resources in a second. But these are all really great, again, instruments they could be successful at without a lot of money and without a lot of help. There's a Tony's box. It plays music. They get to choose the character. They put it on top. When they take the character off, it stops singing or reading a story. They make a ton of characters. Target sells it. Amazon has them. Again, there's my favorite Bright Starts drum. The Einstein's toys are touch sensitive. I wish I could have taken them all here. They don't have to press a button. They don't have to apply pressure. It's touch sensitive. It plays all of those pitches. This one's a symphony. This is a xylophone. It comes with a little mallet if your kid likes to hold things. This is a drum. And again, they do sync. They all sync up together, so you can have like a little band in your house for your kids. This I love too, because these are soft headphones. It looks like just a headband, right? Like a fleece headband like you would wear in the winter, but it has speakers right here. So it's nice and soft for our kids who have sensory things. They don't always love the headphones, but you can connect that to any device that you have. All right, so I was mentioning the free resources. So on the right is the QR code for a website I set up with all the resources that are guided meditations, breathing exercises, and speaking of free, I got you guys all these stickers, so feel free to take them. They go, you can put them on your water bottle, your computer, your desk at work. They're shape breathing, which we're gonna practice actually with the sound bath in a little bit, but take these. I got a bunch of them for you to take home. And then this is Addie's Instagram page if you wanna connect with me. You can always email me, of course, from the Lotus Sounds website, but I'm just on Instagram a little bit more frequently on her page. So if you wanna connect with us at Addie's Army, that's the best way to reach me if you have questions or just want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, sound healing or our kids. Thank you. You've been amazing. I loved working with you guys. Do you have any questions? Oh, thank you. So anyway, just a little bit about me. I got my sound healing certification 3 years ago, but I've been a music teacher in a school for 20 years. So I come with that background, but my daughter's brain injury inspired me to learn more about sound healing and music therapy because I've seen it work so well with her. So here I am. And again, I know you can't see that great, but that's my family. So my husband's back there, that's Ryan. He's here helping me out and learning also. We're kind of here as this, but also like tomorrow we'll just be here as mom and dad, you know, so we're learning alongside you guys too. My first time at the Team Luke conference was 2 years ago. So this is my third conference. And that first year I came, I was by myself, you know, because Addie's got a vent and a trach and the whole setup, and we have nursing, but as you guys probably know, it's not always reliable. So Ryan was always in need to be home, unfortunately, so I could kind of come and learn and then take back what I learned home, and he was a great sport about that, kind of holding down the fort so I could be here learning. But last year I came and I said, I want to come, you know, Rhonda, I want to come back, but I want to do something. Like, is there any way I can give back? Because this organization is just so amazing. And I said, maybe I can give like a sound bath to the caregivers. I feel like that might be nice. And we were in the chapel room with all the stained glass, and it's a little bit bigger than this, I would say, and it's really beautiful. And it was like packed to the gills. Like it was like, and I thought it was gonna just be this little thing, and everybody seemed to really enjoy it. So she's like, can you come back tomorrow? And I was like, oh, I was planning on going to the workshops, I didn't know. And so she's like, okay, next year we have to do a workshop where like it's a presentation and a workshop because people want to know more. So it seems like there's a big interest in sound healing, which is awesome. If you didn't get to the presentation in the last hour, I'm going to share the slides and I'll leave my website up here, like the QR code for it at the end, so you can always take a picture of it and access the links for everything of where to get these instruments. And you can connect with me on Instagram, on Addie's page if you want. So anyway, I come here for Addie to learn, but also to give back to our medical family community. But so Ryan's back there, and we have 3 kiddos. Colin's 11, Liam's 8, and Addie is 4.5. And Addie's journey, she's come pretty far, and music's been a big part of her journey. Like I said, she has a trach, an vent, and a G-tube, so she is medically complex and fragile, but she is tiny but mighty, like all of your kids are too. She went from not doing much of anything for at least the first year of her life, and now she's standing and walking with assistants at the PT gym, and she's kicking butt. So I'm really proud of her for that. And I know a lot of what I've learned here and taken home is helping her get there. I do believe that. She does get music therapy once a week at home. We have a program in New York State where we're from, which is, it's called the Commission for the Blind. I'm not sure what your states all have, but they give us a budget for activities that are not included in schools. So like aqua therapy, hippotherapy, and I choose to use hers for music therapy. And then I'll ask family members for Christmas or her birthday, like, what can I get her? What can I get her? And that's always like the hardest thing, because she doesn't really need anything else, but she needs therapy, and she loves music therapy. So I was like, can you get her music therapy? Can you get her an acupuncture session? And that's kind of what we do, and that works for us, and it's what she enjoys the most. So I do teach sound healing in my school, actually. So I primarily teach choir in a high school and voice lessons. But like I said, I got sound healing certified a few years ago, and I learned how to use all of these instruments, and I really took a deeper dive into how they heal the mind, body, and soul. And again, in the workshop last hour, I went and dove deeper into that. So you can look into it on your own if you want to, or ask me questions afterwards. But for today, really, it's just about enjoying all of this. I do want to give you a brief intro of what I'm playing, so you know what it sounds like and what you're going to experience. So these are crystal singing bowls, and I couldn't bring the whole entire set because I flew here, and it was a lot to travel with this as it was, but I brought 4 of them, and I think these are the most important 4. This is the root chakra singing bowl for C. So this is your deeper sound you're going to hear. You might feel this in this lower part of your body here. This yellow one is for your solar plexus, which is more like your stomach area, like above your belly button. And they do harmonize really nicely together, so you might feel all the chakras lining up. And you might feel none of that, and you might just enjoy it, and that's okay too. And this is your throat chakra. So far you've got root, solar plexus, throat, and this one is the crown. That more like spiritual awakening pitch at the top of the head. So those are the crystal singing bowls. I'm using a rubber mallet, but you can also use silicone mallets. They do produce a different sort of sound, which I'll play for you now so you can hear the difference. It's a little bit of a more like intense strike. And it has a little bit more sound when you play. You can hear like a hissing almost from the suede hitting the side. But some people find that's better when they play it or listen to it. It's a personal preference, but they both work really well. I think for beginners, this is the easiest way. And then as you get more advanced, this is another option for you. If you're wondering how to play them, because a lot of people always ask me, how do you play it? How do you make a sound? The vibrations travel once you strike it. So it hits the air, and it can resonate for quite some time. And then I just gently, I keep my wrist over the center, and I just kind of pivot. I don't use my whole arm like I'm stirring, but I pivot from my wrist. You can hear it so loud, it's bouncing off, actually, the frequency's pushing it. So I would stop at that point in time. But you basically stir like this. Instead of stirring with your whole arm, you would just rotate around your wrist. That's how you can successfully play them. So you strike it first, and then you go around and keep the vibrations going. And when it gets to be too much or bounces back, you just let it kind of chill and do its thing, and then you can go back up the side and start going again. These are tone bars. They just have 2 pitches on them, and they're a really gentle sound played with a soft mallet as well. A little bit magical sounding. Maybe resembles like a xylophone you might have learned when you were younger. Some frog sounds. So I'll be doing a little bit of a nature section here. Sounds like a frog croaking. And it's made of wood, and it's played by the mallet here that's also made of wood, scraping the ridges on the top. The bigger frog makes a deeper sound. And the smaller frog makes a higher pitch sound. And that's the frog. And again, at the end, if you or your child wants to play these at the end, that's totally fine. I welcome you to do that. These are shakers and pod seeds. They're dried out and hollowed in the middle. They kind of resemble a water sound. You just kind of toss this one in your hands a little bit. A lot of people think you should do it like this, but I find that's really aggressive and not as relaxing for me. So I tend to just play it like this and kind of fiddle it with my fingers a little bit. I will be going around the room to get a little bit closer to you to do some more healing. And this is another way that I'll do that. I'll walk this one around so you can get closer to the sound. If at any point in time you don't want me to go near you, you could just like kind of put your hand up and I'll know not to go there. But this one's really delicate. Another version of what I just had, but they're smaller and there are more of them. So it's just a higher pitch and a more delicate sound. Okay, all right, any questions so far? Soaking it all in? Okay, I will also be coming around with this. I didn't talk too much about this in the last hour, but this is a buffalo drum. Obviously it comes from tribal drums, but it has a big handle in the back. This is a great, great instrument for anyone to play. They usually were made of real skin, but this is now like a fiber, like a manufactured fiber skin because it's more durable. And this is the mallet it's played with. But the vibrations are super deep and they really are good for the heart chakra, aligning your heartbeat. If you're out of alignment, it's really good for that, or working through trauma. You can even tap the sides of it and kind of create more sounds. So you could do a bunch with this one too. So I'll be going around because I think it's really effective when you could feel it over your head or over your heart. And again, if you don't like this or you don't think your child would like it, just kind of let me know, no thank you, and that's fine. So that's the buffalo drum. This is a rain stick, makes the sound of rain. They make much larger ones, I just couldn't fly with those. So this is a nice, gentle, soothing sound. It can sound like water as well. This is a zephyr chime. They're also known as kashi chimes, depending on the brand you get. Sounds similar to a wind chime, but a little bit more delicate and relaxing. I'll probably walk around with this one as well. The last few here we've got. This is an ocean drum. Last hour we did quite a bit with this. Sounds like big waves or small waves. And again, I'll walk around with this one as well a little bit. And this one is a more melodic instrument. This is called a tongue drum. And if you look at the little openings, they look like tongues, right? So this is made of metal, and it's hollow on the inside, and that's where the sound comes from. And it's tuned so you really can't mess up. You could play any note and any pattern, and it will sound really nice and soothing, and it'll go together. Just kind of go as you will, and your kids will take to this one really easily. My son has one, my 8-year-old, and he loves it. And then this is the bell I'll be using. It's a chime, but it'll start and end the meditation for us, so you know when it's beginning. That once you hear this bell, you could just close your eyes, and I will tell you when to wake up by doing this again. So you don't have to look at the clock and wonder if it's gone on too long, or if you've missed something. You'll know by the sound of the bell. Okay. Are there any questions? Are you ready to get relaxed and zone out a little bit, I hope? Yeah? All right. Absolutely. I tell my students, we meditate every Thursday in that mindfulness class, and I tell them, if you fall asleep during my sound bath, that is the greatest compliment of all time. Like your other teachers tell you to stay awake, I'm telling you, please don't. So yes, it is a wonderful, it means you are super relaxed, like that is the goal. So yeah, this is good for you and your kids. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm giving you all my love through this sound bath, that you just get to relax and recharge for you, because you do so much for your kids and everybody else. This is for you. So go ahead and get comfortable. And again, you can lay down, you can close your eyes. We have some handpan music in the background. And I want you to go ahead and Feel your breath moving through your body. And take a deep breath in through your nose, feeling your belly expand and your lungs expand. You're adding oxygen to your bloodstream, and then go ahead and exhale, allowing the breath to enter and exit your body with ease. And if you want to feel it deeper, you can just place a hand or two gently on your upper stomach and breathe in again through your nose. And hold on to that breath this time for a few seconds. And exhale through your mouth, feeling your belly go back to its center. One more time, big deep breath in. And hold that breath for 4 seconds. And exhale. And allow your breath to take its natural state, its natural pattern. Keeping the rhythm of your body going at its own pace. And the intention today, I pulled from my mindfulness deck, is the edge of greatness. The universe is opening doors for me, bringing opportunities my way. I don't crumble at the edge of my greatness. I take the opportunities that come and walk through the doors with confidence. May this sound bath provide you with the confidence you need to enter into your greatness and help your child enter into their greatness. Our sound bath has come to an end. Whenever you're ready, just bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. And I encourage you to place one hand on your heart and say thank you to yourself for making time to do this for you. And I thank all of you for allowing me to do this for you.